speak on what this is gonna be a personal thing. I think it's a broader issue that a broader issue that more people is that that more people should talk about. So I don't know. I feel I'm gonna talk about it since I find it that's something that I struggled with for a while, and the way of me becoming better is me being aware of this issue. And in the moments of being down on myself, I want to look back at this and understand that I've been through it before and I'll be able to get through it again. First, I want to talk on how being 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 hit, being abused, called names has affected me in my personality and who I portray or who I show people that I am at least. Um, I don't really hold parental or familial affection as important as I'd like to think, or no, as I've seen the average person does. People always talking about how they don't know what they do without their parents, or they don't know what they do without their older siblings, younger siblings. That these people are just so important to them. I've never really understood that importance. This comes from how my parents treat my life. I don't really see it as a positive towards me. It made me who I am today. So it necessitates me being on here. But I wouldn't go as far as to say that I enjoy how I've been treated. Uh, I've been called names, I've been hit, all of the above, and I have come to realize that these things weren't did not only leave physical scars that I have had to wait to heal, but they've left mental ones, and those I found are take just as long, if not longer, to get rid of. Some of my behaviors that I thought were completely normal, were where came from my quote unquote maturity, were actually just from trauma responses to the things that I couldn't deal with on my own. Some of this, one of these issues is my constant need for reassurance. I have horrible, I have horrible emotional permanence. I can't trust that the love you feel for me today will be there the next day, and I move accordingly. I move as if I act as if if I cannot see your love right now, it might as well just not be there. It leads to a lot of problems. It leads to a lot of fights for because I am unable to trust. I'm physically unable to trust. I can do I can think of it and I understand how it makes no sense how someone would care for me today but not tomorrow. But it just in practice it's become impossible for me to not act as if that's the only way to live. I have this constant fear of being left behind, of being abandoned, because I just wasn't the me of yesterday isn't the me you want anymore. It's something I live with. It's something that it scares me because I worry that people will find fault in me and then just leave me without giving me a chance to fix myself. And although this does lead me to wanting to be the best version of me that I can be, it also leads to a constant feeling of inadequacy. I don't feel that I'm worth any of the connections that I've made. I feel that these amazing people whose lives would be so much better without me. And I kind of live life being afraid that they'll realize that. and leave me behind. I can't trust that. I, I physically, I find it hard to believe that you could understand just how how I see people or how I see them, the people important to me. I find it just impossible that they know how important they are to me without me feeling ah, without me feeling like a burden to them. I feel that if I'm not working hard, if I'm not doing something for them, that they may realize just how much of a burden on their lives that I am, or at least the burden that I see myself as. I I fear being abandoned by the people that I've come to care for because I feel I've already been abandoned by my family. Although my parents do take care of me, and at least I can thank them for that. But it doesn't feel like they're taking care of me for me. They want a good future, and they we're immigrants, so they've come to this country to give to get that better future. One of that is their children having decent jobs, being able to provide for themselves. I feel more of a machine for that end goal more than anything else. It scares me that, and that's just kind of how I live life. That's how I understand all of my relationships. I am doing something for you so that you still care about me. If I can no longer do this thing for you, won't you just find someone else, someone who's better looking, who's kinder, who's a better talker, and then just leave me behind? So, eh, but because of this constant pessimism and constant fear of the worst situation of being abandoned, left behind, being replaced, it leads me to crave this attention from other people. So I'm constantly asking, what can I do better? Please tell me what I can be better, while also not trusting that me being better is enough to keep them there. It's a constant worry in the back of my head that they they will realize just how much I depend on them, and realize how much I'm using just our friendship as a battery of sort. Without the people that I consider my friends in my lives, I don't know what type of person I would be. I can't really see myself of living. I live for my friends. If they all disappeared, I don't know what I would do with myself. And I don't know if that's normal or how that's supposed to be, but it's how I live. It also comes down to I work extremely hard for the love that I want from these people, but I also kind of fear it. My parents have never. They're not even the type of. Okay, let me rephrase that. My parents are uh wishy-washy with how they feel towards me. One day it's I'm their most amazing child that they could never be more proud of, and then the next it's I'm some failure. So I can't I can't understand why people would care for me. I'm constantly reaching out for it. But then when I do finally get this love that I've been striving and in my mind working so hard for, it always feels it's always a feeling of, have I done enough? What, I can't stop now. It's like, what if they leave? It's never you can't just love me. I'm not worth that. I'm only worth the work that I put in. I can't stop doing it. If- But and it's also a feeling of like I don't know how to put it. It's just I can't fully trust that you do love me. What if you realize this pathetic man that I really am? You realize it, and you don't want that. You don't want to be friends with that. You don't want to be romantic partners with that. So I can't even let you in on the ways I feel. It feels that even when I do speak on my problems, it's all just a watered down versions of what I truly want to say. It's a part of me. This is just a part of me that I can't bring myself to speak to others because showing this much weakness might just be a way for people to hurt me. It's I lack I lack something called emotional permanence. If love isn't right there in front of me, I can't think of it. It might as well have just never been there. I don't want to be like this. I want to trust that my friends know how much they matter to me, and I want to trust that I matter to them just as much. But every little every little no, every little oh sorry I'm busy today I can't hang out. Every little negative is so much more powerful to me than any of the positives that it's almost impossible to keep up a friendly relationship. We could have known each other for years, and we could have been just so so close, and every day we could speak. But then all if we stop talking for one day, it's not a they might be busy, it's a they've realized what I am. They've realized the big failure that I am, and they've decided to leave. It's this fear in my heart that all relationships tied to me will eventually end because I'm just not worthy of them. And although like people have told me that this isn't true, and I want to believe it, it doesn't make it any easier. Knowing that you love me doesn't make the fear that you don't any less. The more it doesn't make sense because the people who I want this love from are telling me that they love me, but I can't trust it because of something that I just truly just haven't fully understood myself. And I'm trying to get better, and I do want to be better. I want to be better for the people around me. I don't want to be a emotional burden on the people who I find so important to me being me, but it just feels it's scary. I just can't see why someone would care for me. And that inability to see any self-worth leads me to not trusting what people say about me. These I and although I've been trying to be better recently. I've been trying to understand that people do have lives outside of our friendship. And I should understand that if someone isn't in the best mood today, it doesn't really mean that it's my fault that I'm doing something wrong to them. And although I try very hard and I am getting better, sometimes I just fall into these deep like spirals of like fear and not feeling really accepted in the places that I should be. I don't and although I feel like I'm repeating myself, but these people do care about me, and in in like a word to text I understand that they care for me. It's just they say it so much. I have most of my friends are very vocal about how they feel about me. They tell me about how important I am to them, and I truly truly do enjoy it. I'm so happy to be so important to the people that I feel are so important to me, but I still wonder if that feeling will change since I've been so used to the feeling of love being a reward for my actions instead of something that I was deserved. It feels that I can't trust what you say because if I do something wrong, it'll all go away. All your love, all the attention you have for me will just disappear. I and mm, I want to be more like others. I want to be able to not I want to not need people all around me every constant second to feel like my life is worth living. I've contemplated it, but I've contemplated ending it, but it always felt that it just be more of a reason to burden. I don't want to burden people with the fact that it may have been their fault, because the only reason I am still here is because of them. I don't want people to feel that if they were just nicer to me, or if they had just lied more, that if they just lied and said I was the most important thing in their lives and gave me constant attention, that I would have stayed. I don't want people to feel that they that that the way I feel right now is their fault, because the only people who could be fully blamed are, I guess, would be my parents. But I don't know. Another thing that I feel just about me is just a little strange compared to my peers, sorry, is that I've come to learn all of the different labels for these sort of things. M- I like to be able to call them out by their names because it helps with understanding them. But the understanding has kind of become something to hide behind, because I'm able to closer explain things to what they are scientifically. It's kind of a way of separating myself from the issue. It becomes no longer a personal issue and becomes something that's more of a more of a science project, something that just needs to be, that, oh look, that needs to be written down, examined, something that can be ignored when it comes to me as a person, or what it means to, like, what this like truly deeply means for me and the connections around me. It's a way of basically ignoring the issue, or pushing it off to a future me to deal with, instead of me right now, who is currently being affected by those issues. And I do want to fix that. And I've thought of what ways I could. So, and I try to be more, I try to repeat it in my head that the people around me won't just disappear one day, but it, it does get better, and it feels like I'm finally doing well. But then all of a sudden, I just fall back to my old habits, small things that just should not matter. It's not your best friend not talking to you every day should not be something that absolutely frightens you. I haven't, and because of this, of the way I was brought up, I don't have a basis of what a good relationship should be. I don't know how often I should be talking to people, and I've just been walking my way through everything, assuming that the people who love each other, they must talk every day, because how else would they deal with this constant loneliness that they most likely feel, or at least that I felt and I thought was completely normal. I'm to find that distance the ability to be distant from these people for a little bit and be able to come back and them still be as important to you is what makes this close is what makes a relationship matter. If you need constant fuel for this fire, if this fire needs a constant fuel, then it's not an important relationship. It's just something else entirely. And coming to realize that has really helped me try, or like it's helped me on my first steps of trying to be a better person, I guess. The the idea that even if these people can't give me the constant reassurance that I so wholeheartedly want, doesn't mean they don't care for me. Like, and I just have to understand that not everyone feels the same way I do. Not every small little thing matters to everyone the same way it does to me. And coming to realize this fact is honestly has helped life become just more enjoyable for me, because I I'm a heavy pessimist. I don't believe that good things deserve to happen to me, and I don't believe that they are. Every situation comes to me with such ease because it's this isn't a we're not I'm not living life with my head up looking towards what potential future I may have. I'm kind of living with this awareness that, or this presumed awareness that I'm not worth anything. everything will go wrong. And although it made life easier, it was a way to deal with all my problems without facing them. It was like, it's okay to live like this. Life is gonna be bad for me. It's okay to not fix these issues. Life is gonna be bad for me. And I hadn't come to realize these things about myself until until recently, where these problems had almost made me lose the most important, like one of the most important people, if not the most important person in my life. I had realized that this my distrust of the feelings of the love that the people around me give, or my misunderstand or my worry that every little detail of me is a disgusting thing that needs to be fixed, that needs to be bettered, has led me to kind of move away from connections that are really important to me, because I know these important things, if lost, will cause me pain. But I've kind of realized that the the chance of these important connections disappearing and causing you hurt in a level that you may have not experienced before, or may not be ready to experience, is what makes these so important. And I want to make this new year a time for me to really redo who I see myself as and what I want to be to the people around me. I no longer want to be an emotional burden for the people I care for, and they shouldn't be forced to give away their lives so I feel comfortable. They shouldn't be forced to have to always be there for me. I am grown. I should be able to do that for myself. These people should not be filling a void in your heart. They should become a part of it. It should be you better their lives and they better yours. And like try or just reminding myself of that is really has really been the thing that has helped me in these past couple weeks. That's all I really wanted to talk about. Kind of went off like the original thing. Sorry. But yeah. Bye.